The reason for policies, programs, and projects is to improve the lives and welfare of the citizen. If whatever you people are doing as Nigerian leaders is not addressing that, you have failed. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV, welcoming you on Trending Stories. I was watching, a video where the Nigerian President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and his team, some members of the National Assembly paid a courtesy visit, to the President of Nigeria. During the visit with him, during the process of the visit, he was trying to, talk to the President, massage his ego, trying to let him see that, oh, he's doing a great job, he's doing a yeoman's job, but you know how politicians behave. They're not going to tell you the true state of the situation. They're just going to take what you want to hear and give it to you. That is exactly what took place there. But in that video, he acknowledged Mr. President for winning the Thisday Man of the Year award for 2024. But I have, as a person, trying to figure out how or the criteria within which the Thisday got, to that, choice they made. Then I figured that many of the things I've gone through was like, oh, he is the only president that took tough decisions. For example, the removal of fuel subsidy. That subsidy is supposed to have gone for long, but it's still there until President Tinubu came on board and he was courageous enough to take off subsidy. The whole summation of it is that he made tough decisions.
But let me play you the video of Senate President Godswill Akpabio so that we'll hear from him, and then we'll be right back to dissect what he has said. Let's watch the video. We'll be right back.
Thisday has capped it all by giving you an award as Man of the Year. Man of the Year 2024 simply indicates that you are that man that had taken the very, very hard decisions that Nigeria needed to take many years before you became president. The subsidy needed to go many years ago. Somebody used to joke that if subsidy does not kill Nigeria, then Nigerians will die of subsidy, whichever way you look at it. But you have stopped all that. Today, the reformative agenda of your administration, people are groaning, and I'm in sympathy, and I said they should bear with you. We are all going to bear with you, because they know, like you always say, that it's like the pains of childbirth. It might be difficult, but when the first smile of the child comes, then joy comes in the morning. So, Mr. President, congratulations that we were able to make it to 2025. We said we must be here. Please accept our sympathy for the souls of your citizens that you lost in 2024. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Please accept our sympathy, particularly on the stampede that took away our very young children in Ibadan and other places in Anambra and also in Lagos at the Trinity Church. It was not limited to one location. These were unavoidable circumstances, not man-made, but almost natural disasters. Please accept our sympathy. May the souls of all rest in perfect peace. Extend our congratulations to the men and women in uniform as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, who are daily striving and working very hard to keep us safe and to keep Nigeria afloat. We salute them, and we are all with them. Tell them that the National Assembly will do everything possible to make their job easy. I thank you for the ease of doing business. Nigeria is now becoming a destination where people come in and can get visa at the airport. It never happened before. You are making a lot of reforms that at the end we shall smile because of foreign direct investment. We tried to do Eurobond. We approved Eurobond for you of about $2 billion. We were subscribed under 1 week, Mr. President. 10 billion, 9 billion, 9 billion within a few days. That shows you that people are still interested in Nigeria. And why are they interested in Nigeria? Because the Democrat, the former senator, is now the president. And the former senator is now the vice president. And the former senator is now the first lady of the federation. And they know what democracy is. Democracy is all about changing things and bringing about freedom. Freedom to do business. Thank you for the reforms. But be rest assured that the tree that bears the sweetest fruit gets the highest amount of stones. They will criticize you, but remain resilient. And at the end, Almighty Allah shall make things possible according to your wishes, according to your program. May God be with all of us. Happy New Year, Mr. President.
All right, welcome back. You've heard all that he said, all right? So we'll take it bit by bit to analyze, some of the information he said, to know if what he's saying is the reality on ground, all right? Okay,
let's look at the tough decisions that, he made. First, on May 29, 2023, when he was about to be sworn in, So during his speech, he said that subsidy is gone. That was it. So based on that singular statement, Nigeria turned upside down. I'm going to tell you the fact. This is because petroleum product is one of the key drivers of the economy in Nigeria. Once anything happens on that petroleum product, everything in Nigeria changes immediately. So immediately he made that comment, filling stations began to adjust their prices of PMS. And based on that fact, transportation costs went up, prices of foodstuffs went up because you're going to transport the products from one location to the other. So they factor this cost into the prices of goods and services. So all these things began to, weaken the economy. As that is not enough, the next tough decision, according to them, was removal of subsidy on electricity, and then removal of subsidy on forex exchange. Before government uses their foreign reserve, to shore up the naira, to save the naira, and reduce the pressure on the naira. So he took off the 3 subsidies on forex, on PMS, and on electricity. And looking at these 3 items, electricity and PMS is critical to economic development. When it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to businesses, when it comes to even household, you need electricity, you need PMS, because in Nigeria there's no power supply, there's no light. So people rely on alternative source of power, which is generator. That is what people do. So the cost of fueling generator rose up. People can't afford it anymore. The cost of electricity rose up. People can't afford it anymore. And same thing with PMS. So the prices of things skyrocketed. Then exchange rate rose from about, before this administration came in, I think it was about 400 or 450 naira per dollar. It rose to 800, and from there it went up to 8,700, which later now came down to around 1,600 as I speak to you right now. So the implication of this is that Nigeria is relying so much on imported products. PMS is imported. There's no working refinery in the country until Dangote refinery came on board in mid or late 2024. All the Nigerian owned refineries went down. None is functional. None of them produces 1 drop of PMS. Then we're not talking about insecurity, which is there affecting agricultural production, because farmers cannot go to the farm to farm. So based on this fact, foods are also being imported. I recall that even Ukraine, who is at war with Russia, donated some food products to Nigeria. Nigeria is not at war. The country that is at war is, donating food supply to a country that is not at war. So all these things happened within a space of months, and the economy became unbearable. Businesses began to leave the country. Both foreign and domestic, companies began to close down. A whole lot of, more than 10 to 15, businesses left the country. Both in the health sector, but even in the energy sector, a whole lot of sectors, they were leaving the country. Small businesses are closing down because they cannot survive with the harsh economic condition. So these are the things that is happening. And now, he was awarded Man of the Year award for 2024. And the question is how? They said because he made tough choices. As a development expert, when we are doing our planning, we keep asking, when we set up objectives, these are the programs and policies and projects we need to do to achieve this goal, this result. The question now is, if we do this project, so what? There's a so what question that always come up. And that so what is to measure the result, all right? To tell you this will be the outcome of the project on the people. This will be the impact of the project that is on the long run on the people, all right? So that's how we test projects. That's how we test policies. That's how we test programs to see if they will deliver the needed result to the people. The question is this: what makes the removal of subsidy a tough choice? It was a tough choice to them because they are the same people within that subsidy regime that are exploiting the system for their own personal benefits. So taking off the subsidy is like hurting themselves and their cronies. That's why they keep doing it. The problem of subsidy is the corruption, not the subsidy itself. Because even in developed countries, they still give out subsidy today in energy and other products. Go to the United States of America as we speak. You want to buy EV, electric vehicle, there is subsidy of about $7,500. If you want to buy it, you get it from the government. It's subsidy. They are using it to encourage people to switch from gasoline cars to electric vehicles. So there's nothing wrong with subsidy. What is wrong with subsidy is the corruption in the subsidy. That's why Nigerian subsidy system is not working. But to clean up the corruption, it means they're going to hurt their own clique. So the best thing to do is to just take it out. And that's where we are today. So there's no more subsidy from government. And they told the people that when they remove the subsidy, government will have enough money, because the money they pay for subsidy, they will no longer pay. So they will use those monies to develop infrastructure, to create jobs, to ensure electricity is working, and so on and so forth. Are they happening today? No, they are not. So the money they're supposed to have spent on subsidy, they are no more spending. Where is it going to? They keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. This administration has spent about 18 months. The money they have borrowed is close to the amount of money borrowed by the Buhari regime for 8 years. So what are we talking about? So when you are saying he's making tough choices, the issue is, what are the outcome of those tough choices on the citizens? Because development is about improving the lives of the citizens, taking them from step 1 to step 2. So for within 18 months is more than enough for you to see a sign that the policies of these administrations are working. But there's no sign that the policies are working. So taking off subsidy is not the issue. The issue is, now that you have removed subsidy, what have you done to cushion the impact of this subsidy on the people? What have you done as an alternative that can help the people to survive the effect of removing the subsidy? Nothing. The citizens cannot even find food to eat. Insecurity everywhere. People are being kidnapped even in their own homes. People are kidnapped on their way back to Christmas, to go home for Christmas, to celebrate with their family. They are kidnapped on the road. I've seen a family that was kidnapped this 2024 that just passed. The family, the husband, the wife, the kids, even the maid, everybody was taken. So when you are talking of giving somebody an award as Man of the Year, there should be some outcome, some results on the policies, on the things they have done, on the people. Buhari did not remove subsidy because he wants his party to win, because that would have made their party unpopular in the 2023 election. That's why he did not remove it. That's why he kept it and continued to borrow. All right? So this administration, now you have removed subsidy and you are continuing to borrow. So what is the point? We thought subsidy removal will allow government to have more resources. So why is the government continuing to borrow? Look at the 2025 budget. Look at the deficit in the budget, more than the almost double of the amount government is expecting to gain within 2025. So they will continue to borrow to cushion that part. Again, the Senate President talked about the stampede that took place in December 2024. The stampede that happened in Ibadan, in Abuja, and in Anambra. These are the 3 key stampedes we know that took about 70 lives, including children and women. This stampede happened because well-meaning-spirited individuals were giving out palliatives for Christmas. Palliatives such as bags of rice, groundnut oil, and other condiments that is required to have a feast for the Christmas. They are just willingly trying to help. Unfortunately, the number of people that came for this palliative was more than was expected. And as you already know, many people believe that whatever they have may not be enough for the crowd of people. And then there was stampede as people are scampering to gain access to collect this palliative. And we lost children, and we lost mothers, and we lost men as well. People died just to go and get a bag of rice. Now, minimum wage in Nigeria is 70,000. A bag of rice costs between 90,000 to 110,000 or 120,000, as the case may be. So your minimum wage, the amount of money you earn as a minimum for a month, cannot afford a bag of rice. And you are giving the Man of the Year award. The poverty in the land has tremendously increased, that people who were slightly above poverty are now in poverty. And those who were above poverty before, most of them have dropped down close to the poverty region. That is the reality on ground. So when politicians come on air and begin to praise the leaders, it makes me so sad, because they are not telling the citizens the truth. They are not telling the world the truth. So coming to tell us that the stampede is not man-made, that is natural disaster, that's a slap on the families that lost their loved ones. The stampede is caused by man-made, and it is caused by those of them in power, including himself that was speaking. There's hunger in the land, and they are approving SUVs for themselves. They bought armored SUVs for themselves, which cost between 140 million to 160 million each. multiply it by 460 members of the National Assembly, both House of Reps and the Senate. In a situation where there is hardship, all of them own different cars of their own. Most of them have been in the Senate. Every 4 years, they collect new armored SUVs. Every 4 years. So if you have been in the Senate for 4 terms, it means you have collected 4 SUVs. And the president procured his own presidential new jet, procured a yacht that is using to go to France, and the citizens are suffering. And you say the stampede is not man-made, it's natural disaster. That's ridiculous. That's the height of it. Because if the government policies and programs are working, the citizens will not be hungry. If government is implementing human-faced program, policies, and projects, the Nigerian economy would have been getting a little bit better. What is the inflation rate in Nigeria? 34.6%. That is what it is. So, and somebody is earning 70,000. You will go to work, you will pay school fees for your children, you will pay rent for your children from 70K. And you are praising yourselves that you people are working, that you will give president the needed support. The economy is harsh. The economy is so difficult that people cannot feed. Just food, basic necessity, people cannot afford it. And they are there praising themselves that they are doing well. Hunger knows no region. Hunger knows no tribe. Hunger knows no ethnicity. If you have removed subsidy and you created alternative to cushion the impact of the subsidy, we wouldn't have been here today. Jonathan administration removed subsidy. People protested. He now did partial removal. And they implemented Shopee. I was there. The Shopee helped in the education sector, recruited midwives and nurses. Shopee renovated primary health care centers, over 1,200 primary health care centers. I was there. I was part of that program there, across the country. They created community service for the indigent people in the rural communities. As they cut grasses and clean up the areas, they get stipend at the end of the day. He did that, and there was effect. Nobody felt the subsidy removal. The partial removal he did then, because there was a program, program that helped the people to adjust. But this one, no program, no cabinet, no ministers, no nothing. He just woke up, stood up on the stage, and announced subsidy removal without a plan, without anything in mind of what to do to cushion the impact. That is why we are where we are. Then he was talking about oversubscription of the Euro bond. What about that? Anybody can be in any part of the world and put his money in the Euro bond because he knows his government. So any money you are putting that involves government, you know you will get your investment back because government is a continuum. So what is the noise about oversubscription? The question is this. The president has traveled to India, he has traveled to Saudi, he has traveled to France, he has traveled to about 5 countries, if I'm sure, about 5 countries. Wooing investors. The question is, how many investors have come to Nigeria to invest? Tell us. List them. The one from Saudi they are dragging. Are they the ones that brought them? Are they the ones? So tell us how many investors have come to Nigeria. And I keep saying this thing over and over again. You don't need to look for investors. Build your economy. Create the enabling environment. Investors on their own will come. It's like honey and bees. Bees, honey's don't invite bees. Once there is honey, bees on their own will find the honey. So spending Nigerian taxpayers' money in the name of looking for investors is a waste, total waste. I'm telling you the truth. Let me give you a practical example. In the United States, today as we speak, the moment President Trump won the election, all right, he is in his house in Mar-a-Lago. And everybody is coming from everywhere in the world to come and meet him and plan how they can fit into the economy. There was one business tycoon who came and was saying that he's going to bring in $100 billion into the United States. The moment he's sworn in, he's going to bring in that money. All right? And even on that stage, after making the pledge that is coming in America with $100 billion, the president now asked him, can you double it to 200? And he said he's going to think about it. Former President Trump or President-elect Trump did not go to him. He came to meet him. Why? Because he knows that he's a man that can set up the system. And he has made an offer. Anybody bringing in $1 billion into the U.S. economy is going to get, fast government attention. That's an incentive. Did he go to look for anybody? No. People are coming to look for him. That is how things work. When you do create the enabling environment, it's talking of ease of doing business. What is the ease of doing business that we have? Tell us. Is it power? We don't have power. No energy. So a manufacturing giant that comes into Nigeria as we speak, that want to invest, create companies and all that, where will he get energy? He has to generate his own energy. Just like Dangote did in his refinery. You have to generate your own energy. Because we don't have energy, which is a driver, a catalyst for economic development. We don't have it. Is this security? We don't have it. The investors can even make it now. We don't have it. So government, instead of making noise and applauding yourself over this disastrous economy that we have, sit down, tackle security, tackle this incessant insecurity in the country. When you tackle it and people are safe, investors will come. When you tackle power and we start generating adequate power that you can feed into, the economic zones, investors will come. Train your people. Invest on human capital development. When people have the requisite skill, investors will come, because they don't want to invest their money in training and retraining. They want ready-made skill, which will cut down cost for them. Look at what is happening in America today. The H-1B visa. You can see if you are following what is going on social media, you're going to see the conversations, how they have to get in, experts from abroad. If Nigeria have experts in the area that they need, Nigerians will benefit from the visa and come over here and do some stuff here, develop themselves here, go back home and support the system back home. But do we have the capacity? That is the question. People leave the university and they have nothing because the university system has problem. No funding, nothing. All the research institute, what are they doing? Who is funding them? How much are they getting in the budget? So we are not doing what we should do, and we are giving applause to ourselves for doing nothing. So the point is clear. It's not about oversubscription for Eurobond. What is that Eurobond money going to be used for? What is it going to be used for? They keep borrowing. The other day was $2 billion. They keep borrowing dollars and borrowing dollars and borrowing dollars. Where are the investments? Where are they putting these dollars? What are they using it for? How do we repay these dollars, knowing that the government have already devalued the naira? The exchange rate is wide. So how do you repay this money? Will the investment turn around and bring in the resources to repay the loan? Or are we heaping this loan on our unborn children? It's unfortunate when people are not speaking the truth to the citizens, especially those in power. There's separation of power, right? But it's good for both the three arms of government to collaborate together to better the system. But being a rubber stamp as legislator to the executive is not acceptable. There's nothing that has come to National Assembly they kick against. They want to borrow $100 billion now. They will approve. For what purpose? The ones they have borrowed before, since Buhari's administration. The ways and means, 24 trillion? The ways and means that Buhari's administration printed. Illegitimate printing of money they did that fueled the inflation that they are suffering now. What happened? The National Assembly, in their oversight, they're supposed to hold them accountable. They went behind and ratified the illegality of Buhari's administration. Just 2 weeks before Buhari leaves, they ratified that illegality and transferred the debt to Nigerians. Does the National Assembly have power to ratify what the executive has done? No. They only have power to make laws. They have power to carry out oversight. They have power for appropriation. They don't have power to ratify. Until today, I have not seen even NGOs, I have not seen those in the political NGOs who have taken them to court. Even Sarah, I was expecting that Sarah to contest that in court. So, we are in debt, serious debt, and we keep borrowing. Can this administration copy the president of Argentina, Milei, who came in when Argentina was hitting the rock bottom? Within a space of 2 years, this man has transformed the country. He shrinks the federal bureaucracy, cut off agencies of government that are not needed, that are inefficient, and he saved the resources. And today, as we speak, they just passed a balanced budget, which just happened after 135 years or thereabout. That's the first time after over 130-something years that Argentina is having a balanced budget. He transformed the country within a space of 2 years. This is a man who came to work. Can't we copy what he's doing in Argentina and replicate it and domesticate it to Nigeria? And we are here praising people who are causing hardship and hunger to the people and giving them an award. Is that how Nigeria will develop? We should learn to hold people accountable. As I speak, is in Enugu to commission project. Have you heard that the President of America traveled to New York or New Jersey to go and commission project? Have you heard it? Do you know the cost of traveling there that you are going to cut tape? What is the president? Is it that he's too less busy? Governor, you did a project, cut the tape by yourself. Why do you need to be pulling people? If you are going to Enugu to understudy what is the critical situation or need of Enugu State, so that we know policy you can develop from the further to support them, that would have made better sense than going to commission cut tape for a bridge, a whole president. Your citizens are hungry. Your citizens are dying of hunger and poverty. Develop a proper program that will address poverty, pull people out of poverty. I'm not talking of this your conditional cash transfer that they send money to rich people their names were added on the register. We have to think out of the box. Cut the waste in government. Cut the cost of governance, for Christ's sake. The other day you said you are implementing a Rosa report. How? You fired 5 ministers. You engaged another new 7. Yeah? There's Ministry of Agri. There's Department of Livestock in the Ministry of Agri. You created the Ministry of Livestock separate, expanding the cost of governance. Now, I saw on the one of the listens yesterday, a few days ago, that the government wants to purchase how many billion, naira worth of vehicles for office of the president and office of the vice president. Is it why you people were elected? To be buying cars that you want, and people are suffering. Spending taxpayers' money on frivolities. The first priority is to tackle insecurity. When you tackle insecurity, farmers can go to farm. I was watching what is happening in Benue, the food basket of Nigeria. Highly insecure as we speak. People are being kidnapped in Benue. How do you expect farmers to go to farm? And you are the commander-in-chief. Can we sit down and do the work? You said you asked for the job, that nobody should pity you, you will do the job. What are you doing 18 months in this administration? What can we pinpoint that you have done? They will only say you took tough choices, you removed the subsidy. Is there an achievement? Removing subsidy, is there an achievement? Even as worse as Buhari's administration was, there was no stampede for food. People were still able to afford food, buy egg. Today, people can buy egg. Just one egg. People can afford egg laid by a chicken. One chicken for Christmas was 25,000 to 30,000. Wow! People can afford bread. People can afford anything. Every succeeding president always have their way of reaching out to the grassroots to know what they feel, to know what is happening around them. Because your ministers, your cabinet, the people you recruit, your aces, they will be telling you what you want to hear. They won't tell you what is happening. Just like the Senate president was telling you, oh, you did great, you're a man of this. Oh, you can see it has been proven for you to win a Man of the Year award. You have done so well. Oh, we'll keep supporting you. Which well have you done? That is what is the problem. When you listen to your aides and people around you, they won't tell you the truth. Leave your comfort zone, go to the hoods and hear what people are saying and feel their heat. People can pay rent to house their families. Many people are withdrawn from school. They can't afford school fees. That is the situation of Nigeria now. People cannot eat food. God help you, you are sick. You can't buy medication. You can't even afford hospital. That is the situation. So anybody telling you have done so well is deceiving you. They should go and sit down and look at our laws, amend these laws, and fix things from their own perspective. How are they doing their oversight? Billions of naira every year is being stolen. They do budget, nobody knows where the money goes. 2024 budget has gone. They have extended it to June 2025. What have they implemented? What can they show Nigerians that they have done with the 2024 budget? That is the question we should be asking. 2025 budget is already on the pipeline. The one in 2024, what did we achieve? What did we implement? What are the outcomes? Go to Nigeria, no light, no water. You have to drill your own borehole. The reason for policies, programs, and projects is to improve the lives and welfare of the citizen. If whatever you people are doing as Nigerian leaders is not addressing that, you have failed. There can be economic growth without economic development. So if you like, let your GDP be 1 million, and as far as citizens are suffering, you are going nowhere. I know how much I spent to help people back home before and now. They are two different things. In fact, practically, we bought foodstuff from Nigeria and ship it here. We normally do that every 2 years. We stock them in the fridge and use them gradually, because you can't get the that kind of quality here, like red oil. Before you get Nigerian quality here, it's hard. Now, the things we bought 2 years ago, we bought the same thing today. That 2 years ago, I think we spent a total of about, I think 800,000 or thereabout to do everything, including shipping. But this year, we spent 1.8 million to do the same thing. Even we took off so many things from the list we bought before. You price a box of dry fish today. They tell you it's 45,000. You said, okay, we send money tomorrow. Before you call tomorrow, they'll tell you it is now 50,000. The thing changes price every 2 hours. Things in Nigeria. And I keep asking my wife, how do people survive? And people are here telling us that the government is working. What are you working? I'm going to leave it here for now. And I expect you, to drop your comment for me on the comment section. Share your views, where you are, how are you coping, how are you feeling, how are you living. We want to make Nigeria work. We want to hold our leaders accountable. We want to counter this narrative they keep pushing out that things are working when things are not working. You are there, you are feeling the heat directly. Feel free. It doesn't matter which region, religion, or where you are coming from. Hunger knows no bound. It's hitting everybody at the same time. So, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. I need your subscription to grow my channel. Don't leave this video without clicking on the subscribe button. Put on your notifications so that when my next video drops, you will be among the first to be notified. It's glad having this opportunity to talk with you guys. I'm going to see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day. See you. I'm signing out.